What if Naruto was born with power 6 eyes? Chapter 2, let's start.
3 days have passed since Team 7 reached the tower, thanks to Naruto's help. At this point, all teams that have finished the exam are in the tower standing in F. And their sensei. All the teams of Konoha managed to pass the exam alongside Kabuto's team, the Sand Genin, the Sound Genin, and a red-haired girl, who survived, so she had failed the test. However, one person wasn't present there. It's Naruto Uzumaki. Where the hell is that idiot? Sakura exclaimed in her head, going back to being a fangirl for Sasuke. Said boy was also looking around for his teammate as well with his fist clenched. Where is that dope? Sasuke thought. After waking up, Sasuke found himself in a chamber with Kakashi, who had told him that the seal given by Orochimaru had been sealed, but would be active resist its power. He also learned that Naruto had brought them to the tower after he was defeated by Naruto, making Sasuke angry. He couldn't believe that Naruto of all people, the dead last. Kakashi had tried to calm him down and told him that his seal was probably affecting his mind, causing him to not perform abilities. Sasuke had accepted the answer but still wanted to defeat Naruto to prove his superiority to him and everyone else. However, right now, he was filled with worry since Naruto was not here. Sasuke clenched his fist and gritted his teeth. If that idiot isn't here, then I can't move. Exam, dope, don't you dare mess it up, damn it. He thought angrily. He was hoping that Naruto's lack of presence would go unnoticed and he could proceed. Were a few he wanted to fight far more than Naruto. As the Hokage finished his speech, he asked if anyone wanted to give up, to which Kabuto raised his hand and gave up, saying that he was low on chakra and approved. The Hokage smiled. Very well then, let's begin the preliminary rounds. He spoke. When things were about to proceed, Kaiba Inyazuka from Team 8 called out, "Wait, Naruto isn't here, doesn't that mean Team 7 failed the exam?" He said with a Sasuke. Hearing this, Sasuke started glaring at Kaiba. While Sakura wasn't sure what to feel since she didn't want Sasuke to continue fighting after the encounter. Shino Abarame, whose clothes and personality hid his face and expressions well, looked down and sighed at his teammates' actions. You just had to do it. Kaiba snapped his head to Shino. What? I was just helping with the exams. Or does the Uchiha get a free pass to the next stage even if Naruto got killed? Kib. Hearing that, Hinata's eyes widened. What? What do you mean Naruto-kunji got killed? She asked, now worried. Kaiba looked at her. Well, Naruto isn't here and he was the dead last of the academy, so he most likely got killed in the forest obviously, which means Team 7D. Next round. He said, and hearing the possibility brought the Hyuga to the verge of tears. The other teams were listening in as well. While the Sand team didn't care. The Sound team looked at Kaiba like he was an idiot and thought, this brat really called that blonde guy weak? What, is he dumb? Obviously, this Naruto was Uchiha. Dosu thought, remembering his and his team's single-handed beatdown by Naruto. Teams 9 and 10 were also thinking along the same lines. That guy was weak, but not weak enough to get killed in the forest, Neji muttered, and Tenten nodded while Lee, who was unconscious during the whole incident. Teammates' words. How troublesome, there is no way Sasuke and Sakura made it to the tower all by themselves, so where is that Naruto now? Shikamaru muttered as Koji fixing her hair, knowing that Shikamaru's intelligence never failed him, she knew he was right. Team 7 themselves didn't know what to think. The truth is that they never even asked about Naruto or if the boy was alright. The sensei of all teams looked at Team 7's sensei Kakashi after hearing that, wondering and worried if it was true and if Kakashi had lost someone again. But Kakashi, he gave them a hello with an eye smile, letting them know that Naruto was alright. Hiruzen, after seeing all the interactions, decided to let them know that Naruto was alright and was about to speak up when a loud voice came. "Glad to see how much you care about me, Mutt." Naruto's voice came and everyone looked up to see Naruto using chakra to stand upside down on the ceiling. Could say anything, he dropped to the ground and landed in a crouched position near the center of the gathered genins, and slowly stood up as everyone start. Naruto's clothes have changed completely. While the variety of outfits was limited in the tower, since high-ranking ninjas sometimes use the forest as a trainin' tower for any restocks, Naruto managed to get some clothes he liked for now. They also showed a bit of the amazing physique he hid under his old orange cloth. Naruto is wearing a black martial arts sleeveless gi, revealing his defined arm and shoulder muscles. He is wearing black harem pants, baggy pants, with a WHI around his waist, and black ninja sandals. He has the usual ninja belt and pouch on his right thigh in black as well. All of this was finished by white bandages eyes. They were all surprised and a little shocked because no one had detected Naruto and because of his new clothes. What the wind did he get here? And what's with the blindfold? Most thought. However, Kakashi and Hiruzen had different thoughts. Amazing, the 6 eyes not only improve his chakra control but he has mastered it. He suppressed his chakra to the point that even I wasn't able to sense him. Hiruzen smiled, well, he was able to hide from Anbu, and now with that perfect chakra control, he can become indetectable. Naruto certainly has grown in a Fe. Might even have let him surpass Tsunade's chakra control. He thought. Gaara narrowed his eyes. I didn't sense him at all. Is he stronger? He thought. When did he get here, and how long has he been here? Neji questioned himself. He changed his clothes? And what happened to his eyes? This is too troublesome. Shikamaru thought. Naruto ignored everyone and turned to Sasuke, who was looking at him, and smirked. Don't think getting better at hiding will make you stronger than me, Gave no outward reaction and turned his head. Sasuke got confused at this. He was expecting Naruto to yell back at him but he was ignored completely. Before Sasuke could say anything, Naruto spoke up. I don't care, he said, surprising Sasuke and the others. Naruto continued, I don't care, what you think 3 days things have happened and I have far surpassed you, so I don't care what you think. He said flatly. Sakura, enraged at Naruto's disrespect towards Sasuke, stomped towards him ready to punch him. Naruto. How dare you talk to Sasuke-kun like th? Punched him. However, to her and everyone's Leaf Ninja's shock, Naruto, instead of taking the hit, caught her wrist, twisted it a little painfully, and applied pressure on her knee. Whine a little in pain, suddenly he let go of her. Ouch! She whimpered and looked at Naruto in shock. After a few days of studying and getting more accurate numbers to gauge strengths, I can tell, I didn't even apply 80 kilograms of pressure, which is in. She has abysmal chakra reserves, he thought. She's barely even low genin level, no dedication or real dream. What in the world did I even use to like about? A bit shocked at his previous taste in women. Well, Sakura doesn't qualify as a woman in any aspect. Naruto. How could you hit the girl you like? Ino exclaimed. Didn't you used to dream of dating her? She asked. Naruto turned his head towards her. Yeah, about that. I finally woke up from that nightmare. He said, causing a few like Kaiba to chuckle and Sakura to be calm. A certain Hyuga wondered if she finally had a chance for herself at Naruto after feeling relieved at seeing him safe. Naruto turned his attention to Sasuke only to find that he was being glared at, mostly likely because of his earlier comment, "Oh hi Sasuke," he called an SAS. Eyes. Naruto continued, "If you want to fight me then make your way to the top, glaring won't help," Naruto said, causing Sasuke to scoff, and then both tuned. Naruto said, "Please continue the preliminary." Naruto said. Hiruzen nodded and signaled the Jonin to continue. Soon the rest of the competing genin found themselves in a battle arena's viewing stands, with a digital board deciding their matches as the genins watched in. The board landed on two names deciding the first match. Sasuke Uchiha vs Yoroi Akid. Seeing the names, the two genin walked down as everyone watched. However, Sasuke took a look at Naruto and said, "I don't know what makes you think you're better than me, but you better watch me dope, I'll show you how much better I am than you," he said and walked. Since Naruto had bandages, Sasuke couldn't tell if Naruto paying attention to him. Everyone who didn't know about Naruto's eyes just assumed that he summit. Forest. Kakashi leaned close to Naruto, getting his attention, and asked, "You weren't paying attention to him, were you, Naruto?" he asked. "No, I did hear him, I just don't care, my eyes show me how much chakra he has, and the total is about mid-chunin level, and by the amount that flows nature body, I can tell that he can reach low chunin level at best," he said. Both were talking in low voices so no one else heard them. Besides, Naruto continued, "Ge. Attention, I have more things to focus on," he said. Kakashi's eye smiled, "And what would that be?" he asked. "The information my clones collected in the past 3 days, I sorted out some of it and I'm doing the rest now," Naruto answered. "Interesting, what did you learn in the last 3 days? Your eyes and clones combined must have helped you both understand and perfectly memorize everything?" asked, and Naruto nodded. "It did. I studied various subjects, mainly mathematics, physics, biology, geography, history, medical arts, ninja arts, and some other stuff, and I was able to use that's to my increased intelligence. Once I sort this information out, we can do an IQ test to confirm my intelligence too," he said, surprising Kakashi. "That's a lot of things you have covered, Naruto. What level are you at each subject?" Kakashi asked, and Naruto hummed, thinking of an answer. Since I've memorized everything and understood the concepts and theories, I can confidently say my academic standing is around cage level, so by Civ. Say I am a university graduate," he said, shocking Kakashi a little, but the man played it off calmly. "I see, well you must have a lot to think about, so take your time," he said, and Naruto nodded gratefully and started organizing the information in his head. As Kakashi watched Naruto, he narrowed his eyes slightly in wonder. To reach the academic standing of a kage in just 3 days, even with shadow clones, is truly one of a few who are at that level. Those eyes are truly something else, Kakashi thought as he remembered a conversation he had with Hiruzen 3 days ago. 3 days ago, right after Naruto walked out of the office where he, Kakashi, and Hiruzen were testing his eyes. When Kakashi and Hiruzen were sure that Naruto left and no one was around, they both suddenly looked at each other with sharp looks. This sudden manifestation of a dojutsu, what do you think, Hokage-sama? Kakashi asked. Hiruzen sighed, and as he walked back to his seat, "I'm honestly not sure, Naruto-kun has always surprised us, but having a new dojutsu? That's just beyond him," said. Kakashi took a seat as well. "Do you think this is because of the 9 tails?" he theorized. Hiruzen shook his head. "No, I don't think so. If it was because of the 9 tails, then the previous Jinchuriki would have had the eyes as well. Also, the Jujutsu 9 tails chakra was blocked off with the 5 elements seal, and lastly, the eyes seem special. Not only are they a passive trait, they don't even require chakra to. Naruto, those eyes are like having normal eyes. Kakashi accepted the answer and nodded in understanding. I see, you're right, he said, and the eyes can't be from the Uzumaki side of his family. If it was we would have known about it, even if as a legend. Which leaves only one possibility. Kakashi said as he looked at Hiruzen, and the man nodded. Yes, it could be that the eyes are from his father's side of the family, Hiruzen said. But his father didn't have a dojutsu. I would know, the man was my sensei, Kakashi said back. Yes, you're right, but I have a theory, Hiruzen said, and Kakashi blinked. Go ahead, Kakashi said, and Hiruzen started. The eyes are blue like his father's, though unbelievably mesmerizing and beautiful, they are blue like his father's, he said, and Kakashi nodded. Hiruzen Kanti noticed that Naruto seems to behave more smartly and calmly, thinking things though like his father did. He also became more intelligent and has more traits. Makes me question if the dojutsu was simply dormant in the bloodline and having it in his blood made his father the genius he was, and either because of Mixi Uzumaki blood or because of the 9 tails, the dojutsu finally awakened in Naruto give him all the traits but at an unbelievable higher level. Hiruzen said, and the theory as it made sense. This is a good theory, Kakashi began. Personally I would say, if that's the situation is as you say, the awakening factor was the Uzumaki blood, since Uzuma carry extreme life force, and the eyes awakened after the 9 tails chakra was disconnected by Orochimaru, Kakashi said, and Hiruzen nodded. Yes, that is the most likely the case. Either way, the point is that Konoha has a new dojutsu now, a strong one at that, and if any enemies or the village council this, then we don't know what they will do, he said. What should we do then? Kakashi asked, worried for his student. Hiruzen looked at Kakashi. For starters, let's first help Naruto understand his abilities and make him strong enough to protect himself. I will contact my stud. Him. What has happened? Hiruzen said, and Kakashi's eyes widened in surprise. By that do you mean Jiraiya-sama? Is he back in the village? Kakashi asked, and Hiruzen nodded. Yes, he is. I will tell him to train Naruto for the next month before the Chunin exams, while you focus on your other students. Kakashi, right now Sasuke-kun W. Attention more than ever, Hiruzen said, and Kakashi nodded lightly, looking down. Yes, I will make sure he doesn't fall for Orochimaru's plan and understands the difference between what's right and what's wrong, Kakashi said with resolve. Besides that, we will have to tell Naruto about his parents soon. Hiruzen nodded. Yes, I was going to do that when he was a bit more mature, but it looks like he will need that information sooner, he sighed. Well, the dojo made him smarter, so that should help, he said. Kakashi and Hiruzen kept talking about some more details before finishing up their conversation. As Kakashi finished his little flashback, he saw Sasuke being declared the winner as the boy fell unconscious after the fight. At one point the seal had tried to he had managed to resist. Kakashi went down to take the boy to the infirmary. Naruto, after sorting out all the information he had, opened his eyes to see the match finished as well. After seeing the next match up to see it was not his, he after reading all the books on biology and medical ninjutsu, I know how most of the human body works, and with chakra scans, I can tell that my prefrontal cortex, only the occipital lobe is responsible for that. So, the question, why did the 9 tails say that my prefrontal cortex has changed as we or a bloodline? Naruto sighed, this is too mysterious. How did I suddenly get these abilities? Naruto turned his attention to the matches and saw another fight. Next fight is between Sakura and Ino, Kakashi said as he appeared behind Naruto. So, a cat fight? He asked and Kakashi chuckled. Now, don't be like that Naruto, they both are leaf ninjas. He said. Yeah, but they are weak because they would rather look good for Sasuke than train, I can't respect that kind of mentality, Naruto answered and Kakashi acc. That Naruto was right. As Naruto and the others watched the fight, he honestly couldn't hide his frown at the pathetic display of their abilities. Sakura's chakra reserve totals up to B level, and Ino has about mid-high genin level because she is from a clan. But their physique is so weak, even with chakra they are at best low-mid genin level. Our village? I'm honestly worried. He thought as the match ended with a double knockout. After seeing the battle, Naruto zoned out again, thinking about what the change in his prefrontal cortex be about. Then suddenly an idea came to his mind, Need chakra, but what would happen if I run chakra to my prefrontal cortex, will that get a reaction? He thought and made a shadow clone, then dispelled it. Clones to focus on the details of the brain so he can accurately know where to send the chakra, with my literal perfect chakra control the task of controlling it. Need the details of the prefrontal cortex's location. Naruto finished his thought when Kakashi called him. Naruto, it's your turn. He said and Naruto looked to see that he was paired up with Kaiba. Yes. It's the dead last, it will be easy win for us Akamaru. Kaiba exclaimed and Akamaru barked in agreement. Shino fixed his glasses, don't get ahead of yourself Kaiba, Naruto seems stronger than before, he warned but Kaiba brushed it off. It's Naruto, no way he's anything good, Kaiba said as he left and Shino just sighed. Hinata didn't know how to react. She didn't like the fact that her teammate was looking down on Naruto. In truth, she wanted Naruto to win, but her teammate to her now, and cheering against Kaiba would be wrong as he is her teammate, so she settled to cheer for both Naruto and Kaiba to do their best. Naruto, to his credit, didn't give a reaction to Kaiba's words and jumped down as Kakashi and Sakura wished him luck. Gaara and Neji were watching intently, wanting to know how good Naruto was. Neji narrowed his eyes as he deactivated his Byakugan. He had his eyes wrapped in bandages, so I thought he might have a secret dojutsu from an Impla. Eyes are normal, did he just hurt himself after that day in the forest? Neji thought to himself, not knowing that the reason he couldn't detect the 6 eyes was need chakra. Gaara was also watching in interest. I couldn't detect him hiding on the ceiling, he thought. He didn't seem strong before, could he have gotten better? Some presents have power to them, more than the Uchihas, maybe killing him can prove my existence. He thought. There were some other reactions too. Kurane Ui, teammates sensei, looked at Kakashi. I'm sorry Kakashi-san, but it looks like Naruto's fight ends here. Kakashi looked back at her with an eye smile. I highly doubt that, he said, confusing her. So, you think Kaiba can't beat Naruto? Please, Naruto was the worst student in the academy. Statistically speaking, Naruto couldn't have improved more than K. This fight, she said. Kakashi looked at her. Nope, I am quite sure that Kaiba doesn't stand a chance against Naruto. Kakashi said, again surprising Kurane with his boldness. Kurane frowned and turned her head to the match. We'll see, she said. That we will, Kakashi said with an eye smile. Their conversation was heard by the rest of Team 8 and other senseis, who were now curious about Naruto's development even more. In contrast, Teams 9 and seen Naruto's abilities in his fight with Sasuke. Everyone watched on as the proctor began the match. Began, the proctor said and jumped back. Instead of fighting, Kaiba started talking. how about you give up, dope? We both know you're the worst ninja of our generation, stop wasting my time. He taunted. Naruto, however, didn't give a reaction, and his covered eyes made it harder to tell what he was feeling. Kaiba frowned and yelled, "Don't ignore me," he said, but Naruto kept ignoring him. Naruto was analyzing the situation. Inyazuka clan fights with trained ninja dogs, and Kaiba's chakra reserves are at mid to high genin level, he thought. I don't worry about his physique, he can't go past being a high genin at best because of his chakra reserves. Naruto sighed at how easy this match was going to be. Kaiba growled at the disrespect and began to charge. Yaa! He roared. Naruto sighed and disappeared as everyone widened at the speed display as only a few genins could keep up with the speed. Naruto appeared behind Kaiba and could react. Naruto neck chopped him, knocking him out. Too easy, Naruto said lazily. What? B but how? Kurane muttered with her eyes widened as she couldn't believe her student was defeated so easily. She looked at Kakashi for an answer. Kakashi gave her his usual eye smile, told ya, Naruto is just simply too strong for Kaiba, sorry. Kakashi said, not really apologetic at the end. Niji's eyes were narrowed as he looked at Naruto. How could that be? In the forest, he was about as fast as a low chunin, but now he was mid chunin, was H. Against the Uchiha? No, that's not the real question. The point is, how did the dead last progress so much? He didn't seem that good during the first stage of TH. Began to think of anything he missed before. Shikamaru was also thinking, my eyes couldn't keep up with that speed. In the forest I could see it a little when he fought Sasuke, but now my eyes couldn't hold back against Sasuke? This is becoming too troublesome, he thought. Gaara's eyes were also focused on Naruto. This one is strong, stronger than the Uchiha, he thought. If I kill him, I can prove my existence. Gaara thought. Shino also had questions in his mind. Uzumaki-san has progressed far more than my expectations, he thought. Temari narrowed her eyes. That guy's fast as me, maybe a little more than me, she thought. And Naruto-kun have become so much stronger now. Hinata thought shyly with a slight smile. So fast. I couldn't even see till everything was over. Is Naruto really that good now? Sakura thought stunned. About mid-chunin speed, I can tell you held back my boy, Hiruzen thought with a smile, happy to see his surrogate grandson's progress with his own eyes. While these three kept their thoughts to themselves, some were quite loud. What the hell? How did he do that? Ino asked loudly. Man, Naruto really became much stronger, didn't he? Koji said as he munched on some more chips. How the hell did he do that? The runt was that good all along. Kakuro exclaimed. Yosh! Naruto-kun's flames of youth burn brightly, I must keep up. Lee exclaimed. The teachers also had thoughts they addressed. I see that your students are quite strong, my eternal rival, but Naruto-kun and Sasuke-kun are still not at the level of my students Lee and Niji. Team 9 Sen! Exclaimed. You said something, Guy? Kakashi asked. Ga! Curse you and your hip and cool attitude, my eternal rival! Guy yelled. That aside, Asuma said, getting their attention, what did you do? Naruto is about as fast as a mid-chunin, he asked. Nothing actually, just chakra control and muscle training. I didn't even do anything, Kakashi said with an eye smile, trying to avoid mentioning the 6 eyes. Away, Naruto was definitely holding back. He should be about the level of a high chunin to low jonin. He sighed lightly. Well, obviously he did, using more Po. Massive overkill. He thought as Naruto walked up the stairs and Kaiba was taken away on a stretcher. As Naruto got up the stairs, he saw the screen show the next match, which was Hinata Hyuga vs Neji Hyuga. Naruto blinked under his covered eyes. The Hyuga clan? From what I read, they are the masters of Taijutsu and have the Byakugan. This should be interesting. Naruto looked at the two Hyuga to see Neji's small smirk and Hinata's fearful look. Naruto tilted his head a little in confusion. Why does she look afraid? Then Naruto remembered all his interactions with Hinata. Oh, I remember she lacks CO. Think Neji is their clan's prodigy if I remember correctly. Naruto then looked closer at Hinata, about, low-mid Chunin level chakra reserves, and it looks quite great chakra control. She is way better than Ino and Sakura, and that is as a Taijutsu specialist, while Ino is supposed to be a ninjutsu specialist and Sakura is at genjutsu, which both requires more chakra. Naruto analyzed, Hinata is much better than the other two, the only girl I think can beat her is that sand ninja. Naruto walked to Kakashi and Sakura as he watched Hinata and Neji walk down the stairs for their match. Good job on your match, Naruto, he heard Kakashi compliment him and Naruto nodded as a thanks. Sakura seemed to be thinking about something, so they let her be and looked at that match. As soon as the match began, instead of fighting, Neji started belittling Hinata and told her to give up because she was a failure, as everyone watched the verb. Atmosphere of tension formed. But Naruto watched them. He increasingly got annoyed and finally yelled, "Yo!" He got everyone's attention as they all looked at him. Naruto continued, "Are you yapping all day or fight?" Naruto looked at Neji. After 1 year of field experience, one would think you know not to waste time. But here you are making rookie things to do after this match. Stop wasting time. He complained in annoyance and his tone broke the tension completely, making some chuckle at Neji after NA. On his mistake, as Neji gritted his teeth in anger at the insult. He was about to say something when the proctor entered the conversation. He's right, you need to start fighting, we have more matches to finish. He said. Fa. Neji scoffed in anger and charged Hinata. As Hinata saw this, fear entered her heart, but a voice reached her ears. Give it your best, she heard Naruto say with a stern voice, which was unusual for him. Heard that the fear left her completely as she activated her Byakugan and charged Neji as well. As Naruto watched the match, he could honestly say that he was interested in it and impressed. Hinata was the first kunoichi he met who could operate at low physical ability. Her chakra control was precise and her taijutsu skills were far better than his own. Still, he was even more impressed at Neji, while his eyes co. about mid to high Chunin level chakra reserves, his control was just as good as Hinata, and his taijutsu was even better. Naruto could tell that Neji's real ability to high Chunin level. The difference is great in ranks. A low Chunin is 10 times stronger than a high Genin, and a low Jonin is 10 times stronger than a high Chunin in over physical A reserves. Even if Naruto himself had more chakra than all the 5 Kage combined, his body could only reach low Jonin at best for a short time and maintain high problem, which means he is somewhere in between Jonin and Chunin ranks. The difference in a single rank is big too. A mid-Genin is 5 times stronger than a low Genin is 5 times stronger than a mid-Genin. The same goes for Chunin and Jonin ranks. For Neji to be at the level of a high Chunin, while Hinata is at low Chunin, 10 times stronger than Hinata, but this also means that Naruto, who can reach a low Jonin level for a few minutes if tried to maintain a level between high Chu, a constant for himself, he is easily 5 times stronger than Neji, which is a lot. However, right now Naruto was watching as the match stopped and Neji showed red dots on Hinata's forearms and showed how he had blocked all the chakra. shocking even genin except Naruto, whose eye's perception of time and ability to see chakra had showed him both Niji's strikes on Hinata's arms and the flow down. Naruto realized that the was over in Niji's favor and sighed. Well, I knew she wasn't strong enough, but at least she managed to prove her resolve. Though I chose the same ninja way as me, he thought. He felt a little happy when Hinata said the same nindo as him, but what she didn't know was that Naruto's ninja changing a bit as he started thinking more clearly, but the only thing that would never change was that he would never give up. When Hinata finally lost the match and fell to the ground, Naruto's eyes widened when saw Hinata's chakra pathway to the heart get damaged, and from the read, he realized that the strike was fatal. He was even more surprised to see Niji charged in to deliver what looked like a killing blow. His eyes could see all the Jonin sensei move to stop Niji successfully. At that moment Naruto narrowed his eyes coldly and vanished from his spot at low Jonin. Something only the Hokage noticed. As the Jonin stopped Niji just a foot away from Hinata, he gritted his teeth in anger and said, "Interfering in a match, hey? Guess the main house will receive well." He spat out. "Be careful now, I didn't save Hinata, I saved you," Kakashi said, getting his and the others' attention. "Hey!" Niji looked at Kakashi in a questioning manner. Kakashi pointed towards Hinata, and they widened their eyes in surprise to see her in Naruto's arms. When did he get there? The genin questioned themselves as well as the Jonins who weren't paying attention. Most brushed it off, believing they didn't notice Naruto because they were distracted. Niji narrowed his eyes as the Jonins let go him. Niji scoffed, "Save me? From the dead last, if you think his loser can do anything to me, you are delusiona." Kakashi and looked at Naruto, "And you?" he said, but Naruto didn't look at him as he handed Hinata to the medical ninjas that arrived and Kurane rushed to H. Niji, knowing Naruto could listen, continued, "You seem to have got ahead of yourself. Sure, you got better than when you were in the academy, but that doesn't that you are a talentless loser." Niji was cut off as Naruto turned his head to look at the Hyuga. Naruto's eyes were covered, but still one could tell that he was giving Niji a cold death glare under the bandages. Naruto spoke, "How about instead of talking? You seem to do most of the time. You fight me next month in the finals. We will settle this there, because honestly I really want to teach you a painful lesson." Pressed tone it would have sent shivers down Niji's spine if he was not so angry. Niji narrowed his eyes. "Fine. I will show you your place in the finals, just don't lose to whoever you go against before you reach me." He accepted the challenge. Naruto looked at him for a second and walked to the viewing stands with everyone else as Kakashi put a hand on his shoulder. "I thought you would be much hurting his cousin," Kakashi said. Naruto didn't look at him and replied, "I read about what happened between the Hyuga clan and Lightning Village. The details were not there, but I could guess. Was sacrificed was not Hinata's father, but his twin brother, Niji's dad. I also read about how the Hyuga run their clan and how the branch family has to live." And Kakashi realized where this was going. Naruto continued, "I don't have the right to be angry with Niji after what happened to his father and what he has to live. Like the way he treated Hinata, I understand the pain of having a seal that I can never get rid of and how negatively it affects my life. I'll just clash my ideals point in the finals, and besides." Naruto paused for a moment as Kakashi looked at him. Naruto finished, "It's not like I know how family treats each other, to judge something I don't know about," Naruto said as the mood turned a little somber and Kakashi stepped back a little after give Naruto's shoulder a light s. Need to give Naruto some space. The next match was between Rock Lee and Gaara of the Sand. Yosh. "Finally, it's my turn," Lee exclaimed and jumped down as Gaara followed with a sand shunshin, body flicker. Naruto looked at this and asked Kakashi, what was that just now? Gaara moved at an extremely high speed, that was about Jonin levels, but his physique do. Enough for that. Kakashi looked at him. It's called Shunshin, body flicker. This jutsu uses a short burst of chakra through your whole body and lets you move at extremely high speeds that surpass Y. Depends on your physique and chakra reserves, but the setback is that you can only move in a straight line, and can't make sharp turns. The technique can on distance and there should be no obstacle like a wall in your way. Also, at that moment you will have a blurry vision as your body is going faster than what it's. Sharingan can't help with that. And lastly, it requires you to have quite a bit of chakra to spare, Kakashi explained as the fight began. Both continued their conversation while looking at the fight. Naruto asked again, I have the chakra and physique for somewhere between low Jonin to high Ch. You think I can be with the Shunshin? Kakashi hummed, I think your sunshine will be as fast as my normal speed, so about elite Jonin level which is 5 times high Jonin, or also described as 4 clan heads and Anbyo commander. Kakashi said. Naruto nodded, and how fast is your Shunshin? He asked. For someone at my level, a Shunshin will be as fast as a low Kage's average speed, Kakashi answered as Naruto nodded. He wanted to ask the difference bet. And mid to high Kage's level, but that question would be for when he reaches Kakashi's level. Down in the battle, Lee's attacks weren't going through Gaara's sand barrier. Lee's sensei, Guy signaled the boy something and the boy went to the top of the statue and took off some weights from under his leg warmers. Temari scoffed, oh please, he thinks he can make a difference by losing a few pounds of weight? Don't make me laugh. He thought. Naruto, however, suspected that Lee's plan couldn't be that simple and took a peek by lifting the baggage from his left eye a little when the information start. Mind, his eyes widened as he quickly covered them again and thought, those weights look light, but their volume and density is no joke, it has to be at least. Their eyes as Lee dropped the weights to the ground and 2 huge crashes occurred, 10,000 pounds, Naruto finished his thought in shock. Kakashi sighed, seriously Guy, don't you think you overdid it a little? Kakashi asked and Guy laughed. No. Lee wanted to become stronger with only taijutsus, so put him on the right track, nothing more. The others had different reactions of shock, but Naruto was more focused on Lee, who attacked Gaara with more speed, that's high Chunin speed, Naruto too. Who was also invested in the fight. He is almost at my level, but just a little behind, Neji thought and narrowed his eyes. Now Lee's attack seemed to be going through Gaara's sand defense but not touching him. Seeing this, Guy gave another order, Lee, you're it, he said, shocking L. The rest. Use what? Was the general thought. Gee, Guy sensei, are you serious? But you said whatever Lee was going to say was cut off when Guy assured him that he could use whatever this it was. Lee gave a salute, loosened his arm bandages and got into a stand, making Kakashi widen his eyes and look at Guy. Guy, tell me you did not teach Lee that, he said, but Guy didn't look at him and answered. I did, my eternal rival. I had to. He said, and Naruto looked at Lee again, this time with full attention, with his left thumb near his leaf eyes ready to take that. Needed. Lee took in a deep breath and shouted, first gate, gate of opening open. He yelled as Naruto saw something happen in Lee's head. Naruto exposed H. Chakra point at the left side of Lee's open up. What the? Naruto muttered as he decided to watch the match with this left eye exposed to take in every detail. Arms. Since he was standing at the near left with his team, there was no one who could see his unnaturally beautiful blue eye. Lee continued, second gate, gate of healing open. He yelled again as Naruto watched a chakra point at the right side of his head open up. "Sensei, what is this technique?" Naruto asked in urgency and Kakashi replied. "It's the 8 inner gate technique, a forbidden move. The 8 gates exist in order to limit the flow of chakra within an individual's body. Normally, individuals see a 20% of their body's full potential. It's the brain's way of protecting an individual from harming their body through overexertion. With training, individuals can le limiters, referred to as opening the gates. With each opened gate, individuals are given access to more and more of their body's chakra, increasing their phy speed, but the drawback is painful, as after that you will damage your own body if you are not good enough," Kakashi said, shocking everyone. Kakashi looked at Guy. "How could you teach him that technique, Guy? You do remember how dangerous it is? How many gates can that boy open?" he asked. "He's opening the last one he can," Guy replied as they all looked at Lee. "5th gate, gate of limit open." Lee gritted out as Naruto watched another chakra point open up in Lee's body. Suddenly Lee disappeared from everyone's sight except the Hokage, Kakashi, Guy, and Naruto. The Hokage and Guy and Kakashi's eyes were used to this speed, but Kakashi also exposed his Sharingan to see every attack in more detail and see the chakra, while Naruto's slowed perception of time let him see everyone move still awfully slow and clearly. Naruto took a glance around the audience and he could tell Kakashi and the Hokage were able to watch what was happening. Naruto took in all the details of the fight as his mind was flooded with information at an increased. At one point, as the fight became tense, Guy started praying for Lee and closed his eyes, when Lee delivered a final blow sending Gaara to the ground and him conscious, ending the match. As everyone looked on in shock, Guy looked happy, but not Kakashi and Naruto. They were tense. "He's still awake," they thought, looking at Gaara. Suddenly Gaara let out a sand attack which covered Lee's left arm and left leg and caused him extreme pain, evidenced by his screams as he was thrown back. What happened?" Guy asked, confused and worried. Kakashi was about to answer, but Naruto spoke first. "When you closed your eyes right before Lee made his final blow, Gaara made a thick sand barrier and see you with more sand," Naruto said, subconsciously still focused on the match as Guy widened his eyes in surprise. It took a few seconds, but everyone else blinked and suddenly all heads snapped to Naruto in shock and they all asked the same question. "Your eyes can speed?" they asked. Naruto widened his eyes a little at his mistake but didn't turn his head and said, "That's not the point, look what's happening to Lee," he said, and everyone got and started looking at the match again to see more and went towards the boy and widened their eyes. Before anything happened, the sand gathering around Lee was smacked away as Guy appeared before the boy. Naruto covered his left eye again as he watched the rest of the proceeding with narrowed his eyes as Guy told Gaara that he protected Lee because he was his. Naruto didn't know what to think about the situation while the ground was prepared for the fight. However, this one was not interesting in the least after Lee. Naruto stayed spaced out. When he looked up, he saw that the match was over and Dosa was the winner. The Hokage called all the winners downstairs and explained the final round in Naruto paid the bare minimum attention. Lee was strong, he thought. He was at least 15 to 20 times stronger with the 5th gate. "I need to catch up," he did. "Fists, I need to figure out more about my powers. This can't wait. I will go now and run chakra through my prefrontal cortex and see what it's about." He thought when the Anko called for him and he looked around to see he had to pick a lottery ball to decide his match. He quickly put his hand in the box, pulled it towards the Hokage, which the man caught, and Naruto, without looking at the number, walked towards the exit, shocking everyone. "Hey, where are you going? You can't disrespect the Hokage like that. And what about looking at your match? Anko yelled confused. Naruto kept walking without looking back and said, "Doesn't matter who I fight, I'll win," and for the respect part, he paused a little, "Get used to it because tha will get," he said and left the stadium, leaving everyone shocked and confused except Kakashi and Hiruzen, who chuckled at the behavior. Looks like he's getting a new personal after the mental changes he went through. I just hope he is not too different than before, they both thought. As Naruto walked out of the tower, a memory from then a shadow clone came and he narrowed his eyes. This clone was the last of the ones assigned to read. Oh! What the hell? Naruto questioned himself calmly at the information he got. To be more specific, the picture of the fourth Hokage his clone saw. Why does he Lu? Could he be? He started thinking as he started running through the forest of death to leave. Let's see, we both have blonde hair and blue eyes, the age gap matches up quite nicely, high chakra reserves and aptitude for ninjutsu, I might be on to summit. Thought with a conflicted expression. And the fact that I was chosen to seal the Nine Tails into, all of this couldn't be a coincidence, he sighed. Well, it doesn't. Is just baseless speculations, I don't have anything confirming it. He paused, I'll think about it later, right now my priority is getting stronger. He thought an way out of the forest. -1 day later, as the 1-month training break began, all genins were doing something to prepare for the exam, or they were going literally nothing because of overconfidence. Naruto, however, was right now standing in front of an old man with long white hair and red lines on his face. This man had some uniquely styled red and green, and a headband with a kanji for oil with a huge scroll on his back. Having read the stories and legends of some Konoha shinobi and finally understanding how Naruto had read about him as well, his name is Jiraiya, and he is one of the 3 legendary Chunin like Orochimaru. This man is supposed to be his sensei for the month. Why? In the morning, when Naruto asked Kakashi to train him, he was refused because Kakashi, not expecting him to develop a dojutsu and get perfect chalk idea what to teach him, which the Hokage had contacted Jiraiya to teach Naruto and help him with the new powers. When Naruto found the man at the Konoha hot springs, he was not expecting to see him peeping on the women, and after exposing him to the females in the later. After Naruto introduced himself, Jiraiya suddenly got more focused and started investigating the 6 eyes, having prior knowledge of their existence from the H. Now, after explaining the abilities of the 6 eyes, Jiraiya gave out his first order, "Okay kid, we will start with the water walking exercise," he said. Water walking? Naruto asked. Yes, water walking, it's a type of chakra control exercise, but it also comes in handy in combat if you end up near a large water body. Let's get you used to thi. Explained, and Naruto nodded, remembering how Kakashi and Zabuza were fighting on water. So, how do I do it? Naruto asked. Just like tree walking, just change the chakra output constantly while on water, Jiraiya answered as he walked away, causing Naruto to blink in confusion. Wait. Where are you going? He asked. Jiraiya turned around a little and with a lecherous grin, he said, Why? To observe the beautiful ladies around the area. Obviously, you can train without me, use. You're done. He said and started walking further. Done. He heard Naruto say, confusing him. Hey? Done what? He asked as he turned to see Naruto walking on water like walking on land, and his eyes widened comically. What? He exclaimed, and he got closer to Naruto. How did you do it so quickly? He asked. Naruto just pointed toward his covered eyes. Jiraiya scrunched his eyes a little. Didn't think the chakra control was that good, I thought sensei was exaggerating a little at least, he thought. He looked at it. Oh well, guess that means we can get to the next skill. And what that? Naruto asked. Jiraiya grinned and jumped back on the land, went through 5 hand seals and slammed his hand on the ground, summoning jutsu. He yelled in a cloud of. When it cleared, Jiraiya was standing on a big, red toad looking at Naruto with a smile. Ah yes, you are the toad Sunin for a reason, Naruto said in realization. So, you want me to learn how to summon toads? He asked and Jiraiya nodded. Yes, toads are one of the strongest summonses in the world and are quite skilled allies, also with this you can officially become my pupil. He said in Naruto. So how do I summon toads? He asked. You have to sign a contract with the toads, Jiraiya said as the red toad brought out a huge scroll from its mouth as Jiraiya jumped down and told Naruto to sig. Blood. Naruto followed his instructions and as he signed, he noticed a name on the contract, Minato Namikaze. The 4th Hokage sign on this same scroll. Then in detail, yes, the 4th Hokage was Jiraiya's student too, how can I forget such an important thing, he thought as he looked at Jiraiya while handing him the. Could he know if I am 4th's son or not? There is definitely a chance, but I doubt he will tell me if I just asked. I will have to trick him. Naruto thought an sta. Opportunity. Okay, now do these hand seals. Jiraiya was about to show the hand seals for the jutsu when Naruto jumped back and performed the jutsu as a small cloud of S. When it cleared, a small red toad appeared near Naruto's feet. He looked at them. Yo, name's Gamakaki, who are you guys and how did you summon me? Name's Naruto, I'm the new toad summoner, Naruto said and pointed at Jiraiya. The old guy is Jiraiya, you probably heard of him, he said and Gamakaki nod. Jiraiya-sama, I've heard about you a lot, it's an honor to meet you in person, he said respectfully. Jiraiya nodded with a smile. You're Gamakaki, Gamabuntas kid, nice to meet ya, kid. He said. Who's Gamabuntat? Naruto asked confused. He's the boss summon, you probably won't summon him yet. I'm actually surprised that you summoned a toad on your first try at all. It's probably because your eyes give, but good job kid. Jiraiya complimented and Naruto nodded. Gamakaki looked at Naruto, chakra control from eyes? Do you have a dojutsu? Is that why your eyes are covered? He asked and Naruto nodded. Yeah, I got a dojutsu, an original at that, gives me a bunch of abilities, I'll tell you someday in detail brother. Naruto replied and Gamakaki nodded a little excited. New friend. Don't make me wait then. Anything I can do for you? Gamakaki asked and Naruto shook his head. Sorry, not yet, I was just practicing for now, Naruto replied and Gamakaki nodded. Okay, I'll leave then, make sure next time you have candies. He said and Naruto nodded with an amused smile as he disappeared in a cloud of smoke. Naruto looked at Jiraiya. So what next? He asked. Jiraiya hummed, Naruto, do you know about the existence of a different chakra in you? He asked. If you're talking about the 9 tails then yes I do, but no I don't want to learn it yet, Naruto said a little disinterested. Jiraiya sighed, well, I was gonna train you to use it before, but now I feel like we should focus on your eyes for now. He said, how much chakra did you use? Gamakaki? And on that note, how did you know the hand seals for the jutsu? I could see the hand seals in slow motion when you first did it, and I decided the amount of chakra after seeing how much you put in your try and summoned. A hang of how much chakra summon what size, Naruto explained. So how much chakra can you put at max? Jiraiya asked. After seeing the amount of chakra required for the size of a toad bigger than you and chakra needed for the size of Gamakaki, I can say I can sumo. As a mountain, Naruto said after thinking, and Jiraiya widened his eyes. Something as big as a mountain? Are you sure? That's as big as Gamabuntat. He said in slight shock. Naruto just nodded as Jiraiya started thinking, he has the summoning down, and he has chakra control, and he doesn't want to master the nine tails chakra. Body conditioning? No, he wants to learn something new, raise Nan maybe, no that's too early. He was snapped out of his thoughts. Hey, I do have one thing we can do, Naruto said, getting his attention. And what's that? Jiraiya asked. Well, I have doubt that with a dojutsu I have a Kekii Genkai too, Naruto said, and Jiraiya blinked in surprise. Go on, explain, he asked, and Naruto explained to him about the changes Nine Tails had mentioned. Interesting, very interesting, Jiraiya muttered as he rubbed his chin. He looked at Naruto. Let's start the test then. You said that you studied the human bod knowledge and your new chakra control and run it through your, whatever it is called. Jiraiya said, and Naruto's sweat dropped at the last part. It's called prefrontal cortex, he said as he formed a ram hand seal and focused on his chakra, sending it to the specific part of the brain. As the chakra reached the prefrontal cortex, slight yet sharp pain came from his head as Naruto flinched. He let out an ouch, but then he blinked and he let basic knowledge about his power come to his mind. What the hell is happening? He muttered loud enough for Jiraiya to hear. What do you mean? What happened? He asked, confused. Naruto looked at him. Suddenly some information kinda flowed into my mind about my abilities. Is that normal? He asked. Jiraiya thought for a second and then looked up. I have heard that sometimes when a person awakens a Kekii Genkai they get the knowledge of its abilities. Looks like your Kekii Genkai is one of them. He explained as Naruto nodded. Jiraiya continued, well, good for us. What are your abilities then? Does it rely on? Asked. Naruto looked at him and answered, well, this ability lets me manipulate space at an atomic level, Naruto said, shocking Jiraiya greatly. What? He yelled but quickly covered his mouth and looked around to see if anyone was hearing. When he saw no one, he got closer to Naruto and Gra. Are you sure you're not mistaken? He asked seriously. Yeah, I'm sure, Naruto answered, and then adopted a serious look. Looks like this ability is more unique than I expected, the last person who used space bass. Naruto paused so Jiraiya could finish. The fourth Hokage, he muttered as he slowly got lost in thought, thinking about the possibilities. Naruto saw this as the opportunity he was looking for. Maybe he could use his teleportation technique because he had the same Kekii Genkai since he was his trap as he focused on Jiraiya's answer. Jiraiya, still lost in his thoughts, answered, no, your dad didn't have a Kekii Genkai, I would know, I trained the 4th. He said, and a second later his eyes wide. His slip up and he looked at Naruto with a worried and shocked expression. Naruto looked calm since his eyes were covered, but his pressed lips gave away his seriousness. And Naruto, what I meant was, Jiraiya was cut off as Naruto got up. Not here, let's go to the Hokage's office, we have two things to discuss now. He said and walked off. Jiraiya sighed and followed him as they started running to the Hokage tower. On their way, Naruto was now thinking about the facts of how rare his ability is, and how dangerous it could be. When he first got their information, he too was But he quickly covered it by realizing that he could use the information as bait for Jiraiya to spill the truth. On that note, now he had confirmed that the fourth Hokage was his father from the sun, and he didn't know what to think. His 6 eyes let him know that Jiraiya w. As his mind was clouded, and Jiraiya's after reaction was also enough to let him know that he didn't mean to say what he did. All in all, Jiraiya had confirmed w. already believed to be true. Eventually, they reached the tower and jumped in through the window. No one seemed startled, but when they did, Hiruzen looked at Jiraiya. Jiraiya, I know dha of not using doors, but are you going to teach it to Naruto as well? He asked jokingly, but when he noticed the serious demeanor of both Jiraiya and Naruto, something had happened and signaled his Anbus to leave. What happened? Hiruzen questioned seriously, and Jiraiya sighed as Naruto took a seat. 10 minutes later. I can't believe you made such a slip-up, Jiraiya. Naruto-kun's heritage is one of Konoha's biggest secrets, and you said it out loud in public, and when many OU village for the Chunin exams. Hiruzen scolded. I said I'm sorry, I was too stunned to hear about the kid's powers. Jiraiya apologized again with his hands clapped together. Hiruzen sighed and looked at Naruto. Naruto-kun, I'm sorry you had to learn about your father in such a way. I was going to tell you soon. He was cut off. It's fine, Naruto said calmly. Hey! Both Jiraiya and Hiruzen were confused. Naruto looked at them. It's fine, I don't mind about the whole thing, it's not a big deal. He said. Wait, but you always wanted to know about your parents, and Hiruzen didn't know what to say further as he was confused. As I said, I don't really care. I mean, in the past, I would have been more emotional, but with greater intelligence, I can see the cold logic behind the 4thsrea own son, and your reasons for hiding the truth for me. As the Hokage, the fourth couldn't sacrifice anyone's child if he had his own as an option, and you had two nations after all the enemies the fourth made, right? He asked to conform, and the two older men nodded. Clearing his throat, Hiruzen started. I must say, Naruto-kun, you are taking this news very well. He said. Yeah, I was sure you would blow up and yell and scream at us, Jiraiya said. Oh please, like I would waste my time on those things, they would accomplish nothing and be a waste of energy, Naruto said. After a few seconds of silence, Hiruzen began. Naruto-kun, would you like to know about your mother? He asked. Naruto thought for a second and nodded. Yes please, he said. Hiruzen sighed and began. Your mother's name was Kushina Uzumaki. She was brought here from the land of Whirlpool to become the second Jinchuriki of the N. Time here. She and Minato met and fell in love. Years later, after they got married and had you, while Minato became the fourth Hokage, Hiruzen continued to tell details of his mother, and Jiraiya stepped in to give his stories as well. About 30 minutes later, they finally stopped talking and a silence settled in. So, Jiraiya broke the silence. What now? You know about your parents, and this is the best details we can give about them right now. Is there anything we can? Jiraiya asked kindly. Minato was like a son to him, and Naruto too is family now. While he wanted to stay in the village for Naruto, his duties didn't allow him to. Knows the truth, he wouldn't hold back anymore. The thought made Jiraiya smile a little. Naruto thought for a moment. Can I have my parents' properties? He asked. Hiruzen sighed. You can, but not yet. I will have to get some paperwork done while making sure the civilian council doesn't bother me. Can you wait till the E? Asked, and Naruto nodded. Good, so can we talk about your Kekii Genkai now? Jiraiya asked, and Naruto again nodded. Good, so explain how it works, Hiruzen asked. Naruto took in a deep breath and began. the Kekkei Genkai allows me to manipulate space at an atomic level with precise chakra control. The process goes like to my prefrontal cortex and it will automatically turn into chakra that can be used to manipulate space. He explained. Hiruzen and Jiraiya blinked. Well, that doesn't exactly sound like a Kekkei Genkai, Jiraiya muttered, and Naruto looked questioningly. Hiruzen answered him. A Kekkei Genkai is usually the ability to combine two different natures of chakra, like adding earth and water created the first Hokages would release. But you're like it turns the part of converting chakra to space, Naruto itself. Hiruzen explained. Naruto nodded in understanding. I see, think of it like this, my prefrontal cortex is like a filter. Once I put chakra in it, the chakra can be used to perform manipulation, but if I dismiss my control over it, the chakra will turn normal, like when dismissing a normal ninja technique. Naruto explained in more detail. Understood. So how complex tasks can you do? And are the 6 eyes related to this Kekkei Genkai? Jiraiya asked. Naruto looked at him. The 6 eyes are related to this. In order to use this Kekkei Genkai, I have to constantly make mental calculations to perform different require time. The 6 eyes give me that time, as well as the information of my surroundings to work with more accuracy. They also give me precise chakra control space at an atomic level. I can control chakra at an atomic level too. It's like the 6 eyes exist to make the Kekkei Genkai work to its best. Naruto said. Hiruzen absorbed the information. These abilities are broken, they both thought with straight faces, hiding their hawk. Naruto, do you have a name for this Kekkei Genkai? Jiraiya asked, and Naruto looked at him with a grin. Of course, the ability that gives me power over the endless space can only be called. He paused for a second and smirked. Limitless, he said. Hiruzen rubbed his chin with a smile. What a fitting name. He complimented. With this, you can definitely become the Hokage one day, Hiruzen said with a smile. Naruto pressed his lips a little, and this confused the other 2 men. What happened? You wanted to become the Hokage, right? Hiruzen asked. No, Naruto answered, shocking the other 2. Everyone knew that Naruto wanted to become the Hokage since he was a kid. Naruto continued, since I realized that I have no reason to become the Hokage, my motive was to gain respect from others, but now I don't care what they think anymore, and unlike exactly feel like protecting them after what they did either to me my whole life, so no Hokage for me from now on. He said, shocked the others. Hiruzen sighed. I see, well, I guess you're right, so what will you do now? He asked. Naruto rubbed his chin and thought, well, whatever I do I have to be strong, so for now I want to train, he said as the others nodded. Naruto continued, I did to his sister or what Gaara did to Lee, I want to settle things on their behalf, and I have a score to settle with Sasuke too. He said, and Hiruzen smiled. At least he still cares for his friends, he thought. Did you come up with any technique ideas yet? Jiraiya asked, now a little excited. Naruto thought for a moment when an idea came to his mind. Yeah, I was thinking of creating a defense ability, an ultimate defense better than Gaara's NAR. An ultimate defense? Sounds interesting, how will you do it? Jiraiya asked. Naruto looked at him. Well, if you want to know then wait till the finals, he said, and he jumped out of the window and yelled for Jiraiya to meet him at training. Once Naruto left, Jiraiya turned a little serious and even a little worried as he looked at Hiruzen. Sensei, Naruto's lack of reaction to his parents' identity was AL. Now he doesn't want to become the Hokage, you told me that was his dream since he was a kid. What do we do? Jiraiya asked. Instead of being worried, Hiruzen smiled. It's fine, I believe this is for the better, he said as Jiraiya looked confused. Hiruzen continued, to be Hokage is to be ruler, the Hokage is supposed to serve the people, Naruto doesn't have a reason to do that, his reason to become Hokage was wrong for the position, and they acknowledged will become the Hokage, not the other way around. Naruto giving up on wanting to be Hokage for respect is better. Hiruzen said and Jiraiya nod. Understanding. So, what now? What will Naruto do in his life? I don't want to decide his future for him or force him in anything, but logically someone like me will make Agria. Hiruzen nodded. That's true, the boy has great ideals, even now he cares about his friends. The lack of reaction to his parents, I think it because of the change. Kid's part of the brain which is responsible for processing information was affected, so it might be a side effect of that. Let's give it time till his body adapts to become the Hokage. I will make sure he understands what a true Hokage is, then it will be his decision to become one or not. Hiruzen paused and smiled. Naruto is even a little similar to before, he will want to become one, I'm sure of it. He said.